What's up, everybody? Justin here, back with a new Year in Wrestling Reloaded 1996 Part 4, where I'll be talking about ECW and reviewing their super shows once again. Their monthly shows they did. So up first, I was talking about Hardcore Heaven 96. Stupidly, it was my fault. I got cut off on my last Part 3 Year in Wrestling Reloaded 96. I was cut off. I wasn't aware of the time and my phone cut me off from recording. But that won't happen this video. So let's talk about Hardcore Heaven 96. After the Eliminators and the Bruise Brothers was a no contest. I just want to say about the Eliminators, really good team. And Perry Saturn, really fucking underrated. Really good worker, really underrated. It's really sad what happened to him. I don't know if he's okay. I don't know what he's doing now, but a couple years ago, I think he was homeless. Somehow he got to be homeless after making all that money. I don't think he made that much in ECW, but Perry Saturn went to WCW and WWF. He had to make a good living, at least. I don't know what happened to him. Give me a second. So I'm back. I was talking about Perry Saturn, the guy I thought was really underrated, really good. Very sad what happened to him. I don't know if he's still homeless. I don't have a clue. But I hope he isn't. I hope he got himself some help and he's not homeless anymore. I don't know what happened to him. If he got into drugs or alcohol that made him become homeless, I don't know. Hopefully WWE helped him and put him in rehab or something. Or I don't know, man. If he didn't need rehab, I hope they still helped him and got him a place to live and pay his rent until he could get on his feet. I know Triple H and Perry Saturn were trained by Killer Kowalski. I don't know if they were good friends, but I don't know. Triple H should help Perry Saturn if he needs the help. So, up next, at Hardcore Heaven, we had Axel Rotten and Hack Myers take on the Samoan Gangster Party. One of them was the head shrinker Samu. The other one was one of the Samoans. His name was Sammy the Sika. Sammy the Sika. So, Hack Myers, Axel Rotten, it was a no contest. And it was only 2 minutes. Chris Jericho defeated Pitbull 2 to win the ECW TV Championship. Yes, Chris Jericho won the ECW TV title in 96. Then what do you know? WCW had to steal him. So Jericho became ECW TV champion. Up next we had Tommy Dreamer take on Brian Lee in a weapons match. I watched it the other day. There were a lot of damn weapons in the ring. A lot of weapons, a lot of brawling from Tommy Dreamer and Brian Lee. Brian Lee was a fake Undertaker in the WWF in 94. Also, he went back to WWF and was put in the DOA. And then, before the DOA, he was prime time Brian Lee in ECW. He was also in Smoky Mountain Wrestling. He was also in very early 2002 NWA TNA. Brian Lee, pretty good big man. He could do a lot. So Tommy Dreamer defeats Brian Lee. Tommy was with Beulah and Kimona Wanalea because they had a lesbian storyline going on. So they were in Tommy Dreamer's corner because he was hardcore and he took them both on. That's what he said, not me. When Shane Douglas said Beulah was never pregnant, she's cheating on you, I got proof. And then Dreamer said to Shane Douglas, who is it? I'll kill him. Who is it? Who is he? Shane Douglas goes, he's not a he, Dreamer. It's not a he. And then Kimona grabbed the mic and says, it's me. And Kimona and Beulah kissed, fell on top of each other, rolling around, making out, and ECW was throwing off New York TV. Probably throwing off every station they were on. And it's so stupid, but it was 96. But that's just so stupid to throw somebody off a TV for doing a same-sex kiss. What the fuck? Love is a love, in my opinion. So Dreamer defeated Primetime Brian Lee. It was a pretty hardcore matchup. Dreamer got a cinder block put on his nuts and hit with a chair. My God, that had to hurt. Up next, the final matchup, Sabu defeated Rob Van Dam. That was hardcore heaven. Now I'm going to review and talk about Heatwave 96. ECW Heatwave 96. July 13th from the ECW Arena. Up first, we had an in-ring interview with Joey Styles. Out came Taz and Bill Alfonso. And Taz basically yelled at and threatened Joey Styles. And then 911 came out, tried to save Joey Styles and take on Taz and try to chokeslam Bill Alfonso. 911 was taken out and put the Taz mission on him, and he tapped out or passed out. Up first at Heatwave 96, the Gangsters defeated the No Contest. Another No Contest. Gangsters and Samoan Gangster Party at a No Contest. Up next, you're in Mikey Whipwreck defeat Paul Ligorian, whoever the hell that guy was. Match is only a minute 30. Up next, we had the Eliminators for the ECW Tag Team titles. The Eliminators defeated Sabu and Mikey Whipwreck to retain the tag titles. I don't know why Sabu and Mikey were a team. That's kind of weird. Up next, we had the Dudleys take on the Dudley Boys, Bubba Ray and Big Dick. Dudley take on the full-blooded Italians, JT Smith and Little Guido. As I was saying, the Dudleys, Bubba Ray Dudley, Big Dick Dudley with Chubby Dudley, Dances with Dudley, and Sign Guy Dudley defeated the FBI, full-blooded Italians. Little Guido, JT Smith were with Salvatore Bellomo and Big Guido. Dudleys defeated them. Up next, we had Gato. I don't know who the hell that is. Tarzan Gato defeated Axel Rotten. Up next, we had a four-way dance, a fatal four-way for the ECW TV title. Shane Douglas defeated Chris Jericho, the TV champion, and defeated Two Cold Scorpio and Pitbull 2. So Shane Douglas becomes the new ECW TV champ. Would hold on to it for a long time, for about a year. July 96 until I believe July or June 97. And Francine would turn on Pitbull number 2. She had a skirt on, pulled her skirt off, and her panties said franchise on the back. for franchise Shane Douglas. And my God, Shane Douglas, after he won the TV title, the guy was a awesome, just great monster heel. Shane Douglas had a ton of fucking heat in 96. A ton of heat. Him and Francine had to escape the ECW arena. They didn't want to be seen. They had to escape and like hide in trunks of cars to get out of the arena because the fans were waiting outside to attack them. And the fans were just pissed. I believe Shane Douglas was even stabbed and had bottles thrown at him. Why? Because he had so much heat. Because Pitbull Gary Wolf, Pitbull won. Got his neck broken, I believe it was by accident, by Shane Douglas. Got his neck broken, then he came out in a halo. And Gary Wolf, Shane Douglas confronted him, grabbed him by the halo, shook him, and threw him down. It was insane. The fans were pissed at the ECW arena because they thought legit Gary Wolf had a broken neck. He did. I don't think he was injured when Shane Douglas shook him and threw him down. I doubt it. That was all part of the storyline. But, I guess the fans hated Shane Douglas. They thought he probably paralyzed Gary Wolf. And then he shook him by the halo, threw him down to the mat. And at one point, they put his neck in the top and second rope. And Francine or Shane were tightening the ring ropes. They were tightening them around his neck at one point. So Shane Douglas had monster heat as a heel. He was fucking hated in 96 in ECW. So Shane Douglas, new ECW TV champ at Heatwave 96. Up next, we had Louis Spicolli defeat El Puerto Rico somebody in a minute. My goodness. Then Sabu defeated Louis Spicolli in 11 minutes. Then the main event, a steel cage match for the ECW World title. The Sandman, Terry Gordy, and Tommy Dreamer in a 6-man tag for the ECW World title defeated Raven, who was the world champion, Brian Lee, and Stevie Richards. But I think Raven retained, so I don't think it was for the world title. It was just a 6-man tag cage match or something. So there it is, Heatwave 96. Now I'm going to talk about what was the next event. ECW's The Doctor is In. Because Dr. Death was part of ECW in 96 a little bit. So let me look up the results here and review it. The Doctor is In. So The Doctor is In took place on August 3rd, 96. I will mention in a little bit about Hulk Hogan turning heel, joining the NWO at Bash at the Beach, 96. Give me a second here. So The Doctor is In. ECW The Doctor is In took place August 3rd, 96 from the ECW arena. Up first we had Mikey Whipwreck defeat Devon Storm. Devon Storm became Crowbar in WCW later. Johnny Smith defeated Louis Spicolli. Axel Rotten defeated Axel Rotten and Devon Dudley was a no contest. Stevie Richards was defending the ECW World title for Raven, I believe. Stevie Richards lost the world title to the Sandman. Sandman retained the world title. Stevie Richards with Raven and Blue Mini and Sandman's son and Sandman's wife. Stevie Richards retained Raven's world title, I think. That's what it says. Too Cold Scorpio defeated Chris Jericho. That was pretty good. It was on 19 minutes. Shane Douglas defeated Pitbull 2 with Pitbull 1. Shane Douglas was with Francine. I don't know if that's for the TV title. Brian Lee and Taz with Bill Alfonso defeated Dr. Death, Steve Williams, and Tommy Dreamer. That wasn't very long. It was only 6 minutes, 57 seconds. The Gangsters defeated the Bruise Brothers and the Eliminators and the Samoan Gangster Party and Damian Kane. Or Samoan Gangster Party was Mac Daddy Kane and Sammy Sika in a 4-way elimination tag team match for the ECW tag title, so the Gangsters retained. Sabu defeated Rob Van Dam in a stretcher match. So that was a Doctor Is In. So the final ECW show that I'm going to review on this part 4 is Natural Born Killers. ECW Natural Born Killers. Or Killaz, because it's with a Z at the end. So here we go. ECW Natural Born Killers took place August 24th, 96. Mikey Whipwreck defeated Little Guido to retain the European Junior Heavyweight Championship. I don't remember that title being around in ECW. Rob Van Dam defeated Doug Furnas. Louis Spicoli defeated Devon Storm. The Dudleys, Bubba Ray, and Big Dick defeated Axel Rotten and Devon Dudley. At the time, Devon and Axel were teaming up. And Devon started feuding with Bubba Ray Dudley. They would have a couple singles matches and they would just bash their heads in with vicious steel chair shots to each other. So up next, after the Dudleys, Big Dick and Bubba Ray defeated Axel and Devon. Lori Fullington, Sandman's wife, Lori Fullington defeated Lady Alexander. Terry Gordy defeated Brian Lee in a Bad Street matchup. Taz defeated Tommy Dreamer. Or Taz and Tommy Dreamer ended a no contest. I don't believe Dreamer could get up. They went up to a balcony and Tommy Dreamer was just Taz-plexed off the balcony and he went crashing through a table off a balcony. Insane bump. So I'm not shocked Tommy Dreamer could not get back to the ring in 96, as I said. Tommy Dreamer, Brian Lee were in a heated feud, blood feud. Brian Lee was with Raven, and Raven wanted Brian Lee to destroy Dreamer. So Tommy got chokeslammed a lot off balconies from primetime. Brian Lee chokeslammed Dreamer through 4 tables, through 2 tables, through 3 tables. It was insane. They went outside fighting on the streets of Philly in 96. All these matches are on ECW Hardcore TV, by the way, on the WWE Network. Even outside, Tommy Dreamer got chokeslammed in a dumpster. Through a dumpster. By Brian Lee. Also got beat up in the middle of the street. So it was insane. The Tommy Dreamer Brian Lee feud was fucking insane because Tommy took so much damn punishment. I can't believe he can walk. And all those choke slams through those tables probably made him break his back in 99 because he suffered so much damage to it. Even Tommy was sitting on top of a cage at one point in 96, and Brian Lee chokeslammed him off the cage. He went through tables, and the back of his head hit the concrete. Just, my God, Tommy Dreamer, tough as hell. I respect the hell out of him. I always have. Tommy Dreamer was the heart and soul of ECW. And he probably took the most punishment out of any ECW wrestler. I would say him and Sabu took the most punishment. Spike Dudley took a lot of punishment too. Spike Dudley, underrated. Tough as hell. So tough that he could keep getting up after he was getting beat down by bigger guys. So more of Natural Born Killers. We had the Pitbull number 2 and the Sandman defeat Raven and Shane Douglas in a tag team dog collar match. The final match, the main event, the Gangsters, of course, had to be part of the show. It was called Natural Born Killers 96. The Gangsters, the ECW Tag Champions, defeated the Eliminators in a steel cage match, a steel cage weapons match to retain the tag titles. That was Natural Born Killers. Final thing I'm going to talk about in this part 4 of Year in Wrestling Reloaded 96. I'm going to read you and try to do the Hulk Hogan when he turned heel and joined the NWO and became Hollywood Hogan. I'm going to try to do a, not parody, impression, I don't know whatever you want to call it. I'm going to read the promo that he did. It was fucking epic. I said earlier, Shane Douglas in 96 had the biggest heat. In ECW had the most heat. Well, in WCW, Hogan did. He had insane heat too. And Hall and Nash also had insane heat. The fans were so pissed they would throw drinks at them and garbage. It was insane. Even ECW, the fans were not doing that, throwing garbage at the wrestlers, but in WCW they did. And that is really amazing that the fans got that legit pissed in 96, because nowadays in 2020, you can never get that much heat again in wrestling. It will never happen again where you get so much heat that the fans start throwing stuff in the ring. Nowadays, the fans now that watch wrestling and go to shows, I don't think they'd have the balls to throw stuff in the ring. If they did, I don't think they'd have the balls to do it, because you'd be kicked out. But in 96, they didn't care. 97, fans didn't care. They had more balls back then, in my opinion. Nowadays, fans are way too fucking soft, in my opinion. They would not throw stuff in the ring because they're too soft. And they don't want to get kicked out. I'm not saying I would throw stuff in the ring. Nowadays, I wouldn't. But, I mean, if there's a super hated heel in wrestling, you should be allowed to throw something at them. Not a bottle, not anything dangerous, but I don't know. Just like a soda can or something. Or a piece of paper, or I don't know. So here's a promo after Hogan turned on Randy Savage, Lex Luger, and Sting, and turned on WCW to join the NWO. Hogan was the third man, and it was epic. Here's a promo. He says, and Mean Gene, poor Mean Gene had to get in the ring. He had garbage thrown at him. Mean Gene says, is this who you want to associate with, these two pieces of garbage, Hogan? You want to flush it all your whole career, the red and yellow, all your fans that are kids, you want to flush that all down the toilet, Hogan says. Well, the first thing you gotta realize, brother, is this right here is a future. I'm not gonna try to do Hogan's voice. I'm gonna just read it. This right here is a future of wrestling. He says, you can call this the new world order of wrestling, brother. These two men right here came from a great big organization up north, and everybody was wondering who the third man was. Well, who knows more about that organization than me, brother, talking about WWF up north. Well, let me tell you something, brother. I made that organization a monster. I made people rich up there. I made the people that ran that organization rich up there, brother. My God, he says brother a lot. Did you ever realize that? When it all came to pass, the name Hulk Hogan, the man Hulk Hogan, got bigger than the whole organization, brother. And then billionaire Ted, he wanted to talk turkey with Hulk Hogan. Billionaire Ted, talking about Ted Turner, billionaire Ted promised me movies, brother. Billionaire Ted promised me millions of dollars. And billionaire Ted promised me world vocabulary matches. As far as billionaire Ted, Eric Bischoff, and the whole WCW goes, I'm bored. I'm bored, brother. That's why these two guys here, the so-called outsiders, these are the men I want as my friends. They're the new blood of professional wrestling. And not only are we going to take over the whole wrestling business with Hulk Hogan and the new blood, the monster with me, we will destroy everything in our path, Mean Gene. As far as I'm concerned, all this crap in the ring represents the fans out here. For 2 years, brother, for 2 years, I held my head high. I did everything for the charities. I did everything for the kids. I'm getting goosebumps reading it. I did everything for the kids, and the reputation I got when I came out here. You fans can stick it, brother, because if it wasn't for Hulk Hogan, you people wouldn't be here. If it wasn't for Hulk Hogan, Eric Bischoff would still be selling meat from a truck in Minneapolis. And if it wasn't for Hulk Hogan, all these Johnny-come-latelys that you see here, that you see out here wrestling, wouldn't be here. I was selling out the world, brother, while they were burning gas to put in my car, something like that, to get to high school. So the way that it is now, brother, with Hulk Hogan and the New World Organization of Wrestling, brother, me and the new blood by my side, what you gonna do when the New World Organization runs wild on you? What you gonna do? Epic promo. Watch it back. Find it on YouTube or watch it on the WWE Network. Hogan's promo after he turned heel at Bash at the Beach is fucking epic. And there were no goddamn writers backstage that wrote a script out for Hogan to say all that. He came up with all that himself. So, people might not be a fan of Hogan's babyface promos, but his promo at Bash at the Beach in '96 was fucking just epic. Great promo. And you think he wanted to be a heel? I think he did just a little bit after he cut that epic promo. He's probably tired of being a babyface. He's a babyface since like 83 or 82. He was a babyface since then. So once Hogan saw all the heat, all the garbage in the ring, he was probably like, this fucking worked. I'm glad I turned heel. Because then fans started paying to see WCW. They started paying, selling out all the pay-per-views after Bash at the Beach. Started selling out every Nitro because fans were paying to see Hogan and the NWO get their ass kicked. My opinion. NWO in 96 was one of the hottest fucking things going in wrestling. It was hotter than ECW. It was hotter than WWF. NWO in 96 took over. They absolutely took over when Hogan joined. Hope you enjoyed this part 4. Year in Wrestling Reloaded 1996. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Bye for now, everybody.